Good Tuesday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Top Gun Options Market Intel Brief. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz. And before we get into the implosion last week, followed by yesterday's Rip Your Face Off rally, has some very exciting news. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, March 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be kicking off our industry-leading full throttle training sessions, folks. These are eight live training sessions where you learn everything about options. This is an excellent time to learn how to trade equity options, folks. Look at what's going on here. Monster melt up in the market, big rally, followed by holy crap implosions. Well, as an options trader, I really don't care which way the market's moving, up, down, or sideways. I can potentially profit, and that's what I'm going to teach you in these 8 live sessions starting tomorrow night with session 1, our trading methodology here at Top Gun Options, my intelligence gathering sources, options basics the following night. This is 8 live sessions, folks. We do this once a quarter. If you want access to just these 8 that we're going to start tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, all you need to do is head to topgunoptions.com/FT, that stands for full throttle, -academic 195. Why? It's $195 for access to these 8. Now, before you do that, I wouldn't do that. What would I do? I would do this one. Go $495 to get access to all of our full throttle sessions. Not only all the ones we've done in the past, which are fantastic, just ask me, but you'll get access to all of them that we do in the future. It's called unlimited access. So $195, you'll get access to just these 8 coming up that are live. $495, only $495 a month, you get unlimited access. That means this quarter, the next quarter, the quarter after that. Now, to be honest with you, an iron condor is an iron condor. It was 10 years ago. It'll be an iron condor 10 years from now. What changes? What's going on in the market that we're talking about during that time, right? So the tactics stay the same, but the intelligence around it changes. That's why I strongly recommend you sign up for the $495. Now, it's pretty funny. I used to work at a company, Brand X, that sold this type of training for thousands and thousands of dollars. Those days are over with, folks. It's only $495. It's the practical application, those live trade briefs that I do 4 days a week, where the big money can be potentially made, okay? So one more time, topgunoptions.com/FT-academic-495. Let's get to it. Last week was just a sell-off, folks. It was profit-taking. It wasn't the bond market rearing its ugly head. Why? Because I listened to Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve chief, both days last week, saying inflation is not an issue. I'm going to be here forever. I'm going to kiss your boo-boo and put a Band-Aid on it. Everybody gets a trophy. So this was a perfect buying opportunity. I told you this Wall Street bets Reddit rebellion was going to be squashed. It was, and we were going to bounce hard off the 50. Nailed it. I said last week, this is just profit-taking. This is your standard February shit show, a February shit show that I have seen almost every February since I've been doing this for 30-some years. Said we would bounce. This was a perfect buying opportunity. Buy with both hands. If you did, yesterday you saw a 700-point rally in the Dow. Now, this is going to a little bit of a breather here. That's insane. A Monday rip your face off rally like that usually isn't followed through. Now, the SPX, when we opened, the S&P 500 opened this morning, it kind of stair-stepped down and hit a low right around 3872-ish, right? Now we're kind of climbing back out of that hole, and the battle of 3,900 will continue on here. I personally believe that we're going to give us a little bit of retreat back down here to 3850 to catch a little base, consolidate, and then we will rip higher, of course, okay? In your political brief for today, I love what's going on with Andrew Cuomo. The fact that people are just clutching their pearls right now and grabbing their Lily Pulitzer skirt and freaking out is because Andrew Cuomo is known to have been a dirtbag, a typical New York politician for decades. These sexual harassment allegations were known a long time ago. But, limousine liberals and the Hollywood crowd were too busy giving him an Emmy and not caring about him sexually harassing women, right? Because it's okay when they do it. So here's what's going on. If you're more outraged by Governor Cuomo's sexual harassment allegations, they have pictures, folks, than him killing thousands upon thousands of his residents in nursing homes, you're an idiot. It's despicable Democrats are feigning outrage over Cuomo's sexual escapade so they don't have to own or discuss his criminal liability on the nursing home deaths. They want him to resign without affecting their party. They couldn't care less about the women. Dirty politics. Of course, I'm not even going to show you Andrew Cuomo's tweets or his brother's Fredo's comments on like a Justice Kavanaugh, right? Christine Blasey Ford, 30, 40, 50 years later. I think I was at a party drunk and he touched me. I have no proof, but he's guilty. Believe all women. Remember that hashtag? You believe all women unless they're accusing a Democrat. I told you this double standard and this hypocrisy would destroy this country, and it clearly is. It's okay when they do it, not when other people do it. Anyway, he'll be gone. He should be gone, and his brother should be fired from CNN. How about the tapes of his brother, Fredo Cuomo, with, what's his name? Michael Cohen, Trump's former attorney. Cohen recorded conversations with Cuomo, not the governor, Fredo, and Fredo going, yeah, I have a lot of these women in my past too, man, talking about it. CNN, deadly quiet. Unbelievable. That's okay. Escalation in the Middle East appears imminent. Duh. As Joe Biden rushes, or not even Joe Biden, he doesn't even know where he is, folks. Hasn't done a press conference in over, 50 days he's been in the White House. Not one press interaction other than reading off the teleprompter and leaving. They put a cap on his day at like 10 in the morning. Why? He's got to go take a nap and eat his milk and cookies. Kamala didn't even know about the missile strike into Syria. Who's running the White House, folks? Valerie Jarrett, Susan Rice, you got it. The Obama 3.0. The swamp from Chicago that did the Beverly Hillbillies move to D.C. is running this country. Unelected bureaucrats, the swamp. Why am I ranting about this? Because they're going after Saudi Arabia, right? The report last week about the Khashoggi killing and MBS being involved was nothing more than to poke Saudi Arabia in the chest. Because while you poke your enemies in the chest, you snuggle up to Iran, right? Iran, who kills Americans. General Suleiman, who Donald Trump turned into hair, teeth, and eyeballs, killed 608 soldiers and Marines. Democrats wept that guy's death. And of course loved Rush Limbaugh dying, right? Because that's sane. A war will happen in the Middle East under Joe Biden's watch. Israel, which really doesn't care about us anymore, and good on them, put Israel first, will attack Iran because Iran's getting close to a nuclear weapon, and any country that's getting close to a nuclear weapon who has said, oh, and by the way, when we get it, we're going to wipe you off the face of the map, you probably can't let them get a nuclear weapon. So stand by for a war in the Middle East under Joe Biden, stand by for a war in the South China Sea and in Taiwan from China. The big guy, right? The big guy ain't going to stand up to China, I guarantee it. He already did away with the Trump administration investigation into all the Chinese infiltrating our colleges, not only the faculty, but the students. Nah, let's get rid of that, right? Got to give my boy Hunter some more money to his hedge fund, right? So speaking of China, futures were spooked this morning after the head of China's banking regulator said he's very worried about risks emerging from bubbles in the United States. One almost wonders if the next round of the Cold War between the U.S. and Asia won't take the form of slamming each other's capital markets and asset bubbles. Folks, and in that battle, I take China 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. Why? When you can dictate economic movements and stuff at the end of a bayonet, you will win. Right? Remember the last China market implosion? They arrested like 200 journalists that wrote bearish articles. They banned short selling. You could only buy. You think our Fed it manipulates markets? Try looking at the PBOC, the People's Bank of China. But this is very interesting. As I have always said, the war with China will not be a shot. The first shot will not be a shot. It will be a keystroke. And they're right. Good news, states easing virus restrictions despite experts' warnings. So as Joe Biden lobs tomahawks into Syria, Democrats and their, quote, stimulus bill still don't do anything, right? We're too busy getting us into another war than taking care of you. Here's how you stimulate the economy. You open the damn country. The Pelosi payoff, the COVID relief package, $9 is spent on COVID. Non-COVID, because nothing says COVID relief like union pensions, blue state bailouts. Nothing says America and United States like Florida and Texas having to bail out New York, Minneapolis, Chicago, right? Seattle, Portland. All the blue states that have zero fiscal responsibility, you're going to bail them out. And nothing says COVID health like abortions with Planned Parenthood, universities. Harvard's getting a shitload of money. You know how big Harvard's endowment is? They could pay for every kid to go to school there for like the next couple hundred years, but let's throw some tax money at Harvard. National Endowment for the Arts. Chuck Schumer's bridge from New York to Canada because that's needed for COVID relief, and Pelosi's tunnel in the Bay Area. It's an absolute filthy disgrace. But like Rahm Emanuel said, Obama's chief of staff and former mayor of Chicago, never let a good crisis go to waste. Translation, spend like drunken Democrats when you can. So the $1 trillion that was put in December really hasn't even made it into the system yet, but let's throw another $1.9 trillion. Who cares, right? When you have a Fed chief say, I just print money. I make money digitally. I just make it up as I go. Isn't that great? Don't you wish you could run your house like the Federal Reserve and our government? Just deficit spend, and when you need more money, you go to your laptop and hit enter? It's a disgrace. But I digress. All right, so there you go. Looks like we're trying the battle for 3,900 continues. What else is going on? Oh, this is funny. Fed policy changes could be coming in response to bond market turmoil. Translation? The moves would be to address market stability rather than economic concerns. So instead of the Fed operating in accordance with their charter, right, full employment and inflation, they're just going to do some more Operation Twist, some QE, some quantitative easing. We're just going to go buy some longer dated bonds and sell some short term. Here, game on, folks. I know I've gotten you drunk on hopium, but here's some more to get drunker. Unbelievable. You got to be bullish on this, folks. You just can't fight the Fed. That's why every one of these dips is being a buying opportunity. I've nailed all of these dips. Last year, the smart money was like, whatever. I'm not even going to beat a dead horse. Smart money is actually quite stupid. Target earnings top estimates as sales rise 21%, boosted by a surge of post-holiday shoppers. Very good news. Very good news. But I laugh at Target doing the whole, we can't provide forward guidance because COVID. Folks, eventually math is going to matter. Math is going to matter, meaning you need to be in names like Amazon, right? Not because eventually in an earnings period, on an earnings call, the CEO is going to go, hey, man, we had a great quarter. Most earnings calls are 50-50, folks. Half the call is here's how we did. Half the call is a forward look. For the past year, every executive's done what? Oh, we're printing money. Well, how are you going to do going forward? Oh, we can't. It's, COVID. We're all going to die. Those days, those earnings periods are coming to an end. Eventually, math is going to matter again when a CEO is going to have to go, we're kind of the country's open, vaccinations, and but we suck looking forward. That's why you want to be in solid names like Amazon that print money no matter if the world's dying of COVID or coming out of COVID lockdown. Finally, New York Attorney General, who's going to replace most likely Andrew Cuomo when he resigns, warns cryptocurrency industry, play by the rules or we will shut you down. Pretty interesting when Uncle Sammy, or at least New York Sammy, steps in and starts throwing their weight around with words like that, like, we'll shut you down. Be very, very, very careful with the cryptos, folks. I'm playing crypto with Mara. I got 2,000 shares in this portfolio. I got 4,000 shares in the other portfolio. How are we doing? There we go, year to date, up $56,000, $57,000 in Mara alone, and been selling calls against it. This week I sold the 37 calls, which could potentially bring in $3,200 on the 4,000 shares. Over there, I sold 40 contracts. Mara, that could bring in, where's my list? $6,200. Look at that. What's that? $9,400 potentially just in Mara short calls, man. That's some pretty good living week in and week out. So, Mara, there we go. Marathon Digital Holdings, and they changed their name a couple days ago, so the stock symbols were looking pretty weird. Look at the implied volatility, man. 52 week, 35 to 296, 60 the 52 historical, 67 to 312. This is a name you love selling premium in. I absolutely love taking shots opportunity in this. Okay, I got to get going. Reminder, TopGunOptions.com/FT. /academic-495 to get access to all full throttles, this one and all of them going forward. If you just want access to this 8 and the replays, it's only $195, okay? Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I will talk to you all tomorrow. We'll see you.